Let's be real. When you hear the word hacker, what's the first image that pops into your head? I'm willing to bet it's some shadowy figure in a hoodie, right? Tapping away in a dark room. Well, the reality is, it's a lot more complicated than that. So today, we're going to break down these fascinating figures into three very distinct categories. So which is it? Are these people villains, heroes, or is there something else going on entirely? It's a fantastic question. And the answer, well, it really all comes down to which hat they decide to wear. Let's start with the one we all think we know. All right, first up, the black hat hackers. These are the villains of our story. They're the reason the word hacker has such a bad rap. They're the ones you see in the movies, causing all the chaos, the ones that pop up on the news every time there's a big data breach. So what makes a hacker a black hat? It boils down to one simple thing: malicious intent. That's it. These are folks who take their incredible technical skills and use them to do bad things on purpose. We're talking illegal, destructive stuff, usually because they're trying to make a quick buck or just cause trouble. And don't get me wrong, the damage they do is absolutely real. Think about it. They're out there stealing sensitive data, changing or even deleting crucial files, and causing all sorts of digital chaos for both huge companies and, regular people like you and me. Honestly, they're the reason the whole cybersecurity industry is so important. Okay, so we've got the villains. But like in any good story where there's a villain, there's usually a hero, right? So let's flip the script completely and talk about the white hat hackers. Now here's the kicker, and this is the really interesting part. White hats have the exact same skills as black hats. Seriously. Same knowledge, same tool set. But, and this is a huge but, they use their powers for good. They're the ones getting paid to find security holes before the bad guys do. They're protecting us. That's why you'll often hear them called ethical hackers. And this right here just lays it all out, doesn't it? It's not about ability, it's all about motivation. On one side, you've got pure malicious intent, personal gain. And on the other, you've got a drive to improve security and actually protect people. Same skills, totally different worlds. But, life is rarely that simple. It's not always just good versus evil, black and white. And that's where our third category comes in. Let's talk about the gray hats, the true wild cards of the hacking world. So a gray hat is kind of like a mix of both. They're not out to destroy things like a black hat, but they're not exactly following the rules like a white hat either. They operate in that gray area. Whether what they're doing is legal or illegal can literally change depending on their mood or what they feel is right at that moment. Let me give you a classic example. A gray hat might find a weak spot in a big company's website and break in, which, by the way, is totally illegal. But then, instead of stealing customer data or causing damage, they email the company and say, hey, you guys have a huge problem right here. You need to fix it. See, they broke the law, but their intention was arguably good. All right, so now we've met the whole family, the black hats, the white hats, and the gray hats. This brings us to what I think is the single most important idea we're going to talk about today. The one thing that really truly separates them. So who is the smartest? I mean, that's the question, right? Is one of these groups just better at this stuff than the others? Well, the answer might actually surprise you. Believe it or not, they all have the same potential. The crazy truth is there's no skill difference between them. A black hat isn't smarter than a white hat. A gray hat isn't more clever than a black hat. They all draw from the same well of knowledge. I mean, look at this. It makes it crystal clear. The skill set? Identical, identical, identical. The only thing that changes is their intent. That's the secret ingredient. Are they trying to cause harm? Are they trying to help? Or are they just doing their own thing? You know what? Let's break this down with a really simple story. Picture three friends. They all sign up for the same ethical hacking class. They sit next to each other. They learn the exact same tools, the same tricks. They're on the same level. So, step one, they all get the skills. They're all on equal footing. But then comes step two. They finish the course, and they hit a fork in the road. And this is where everything changes. Each one makes a choice about what they're going to do with this new power. And that single choice, well, that's what determines which hat they end up wearing. So you see, it really does all come down to one thing. The skill itself isn't good or bad. It's just knowledge. The real difference, the thing that separates the heroes from the villains and the wild cards, is the choice they make about how to use it. And that really leaves us with something to think about, doesn't it? At the end of the day, the most powerful skill isn't just knowing how to do something. It's understanding the responsibility that comes with knowing how to use it.